Move over, Swanson, I'm driving.
Welcome to the Trading Places Minute. This is the new podcast from the creators of Caddyshack Minute and the Blues Brothers Minute podcasts, in which we will discuss the film Trading Places 1 minute at a time. I am Tom Taylor, and with me, as usual, if you're listening to these other shows too, is Mike DeMaria. Hello, Mike.
Hello, and welcome back. How many years has this been? When did we start this? Like 2017?
Oh, my God.
No,
yeah.
Before that.
2016, I think, for Caddyshack.
16, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And we were there with our friend Dan Lewis over here. Hello, Dan.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Now, it is just occurring to me that in Dan Lewis, we have somebody with the same name as the lead character in Caddyshack and the lead character in Trading Places. That is pretty good. Lewis. So that's pretty impressive. So if you are unfamiliar with Caddyshack Minute or Blues Brothers Minute, what we done here is we went through each of those movies. Well, we went through Caddyshack 1 minute at a time, and it was fantastic, and it changed the world. Then we did the same thing with Blues Brothers, although that one we did 2 minutes at a time. But now we're saying, damn it, it was glorious with Caddyshack. We're going to do it this way, too, with Trading Places 1 minute at a time. As we record this, I don't know how many times we're going to release it in a week, but we'll see. Look at your podcatcher. What does it say? I don't know. But we're here starting with minute 1 of Trading Places. This begins with the Paramount logo and the opening strains of Mozart's Marriage of Figaro. And it shows us some morning hustle and bustle in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it ends with the title Trading Places, seen over a departing elevated train.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Go ahead.
I did not watch the minute.
Well, that's a great way to start off.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah,
We're off to the races.
How many months have we had off to rest and unwind and get our affairs in order before we get in front of this again? And you show up not watching 1 minute.
It is shameful.
Watch it. Always wanted to, just didn't have a chance.
Sure.
I
will use this as an opportunity. I will explain to the audience. Perhaps they haven't started watching the movie 1 minute at a time. So I'll explain to them what we see in this minute. We see the Paramount logo, as I mentioned. Then we see a rowing crew on a river, presumably somewhere around Philadelphia. We see a rainy, gross highway with some traffic signs for 95 South to Central Phila, Betsy Ross Bridge, Pennsauken, whatever that is. Pardon me, Pennsylvanians, for not knowing this, and New Jersey. Then we see a Liberty Bell, the Liberty Bell, I suppose you could call it. We see a Salvation Army Band. We see some sort of Santa package. I don't know if it's like stockings or something, but something with like Santa packaging on it.
Oh boy, here we're gonna go.
I know, there's a lot of debate.
We're just going
Santa
through every. No, we're just going through
every single thing.
Boring details.
Want to do this minute yourself?
The opening credits of this movie are a sequence of images. So, and Dan didn't watch the goddamn minute, so I have to explain it to him. We then see a produce market. We see people getting on a bus. We see another shot of the bus station. We see train turnstiles, and then we see people waiting on the platform.
Okay,
we used to just do the bookends.
I know.
Now
that wasn't the bookends. I did the listen. Jesus,
you go back
I did the
over
bookends. Now I've explained the whole thing for Dan who didn't do his homework.
Could you go back over again what was after the Liberty Bell, but before the Woonsocket train?
After the Liberty Bell, we had a Salvation Army Band.
Go back through there.
We had a Salvation Army Band. Then we had like a some sort of outdoor shop or something that has it's like a Philadelphia something sweatshirt, but then in front of that is like some Santa stuff. It's Christmas time. They're selling some stuff. Some sort of
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell what it was.
I didn't get all that down, but I'll take some further notes later.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah. But yeah, not a blessed thing happens in this minute. It's just pictures of stuff.
The first image is of a button. You should know this, being from Connecticut, is you see the rowers. You see.
Yeah.
Right, and then it just goes right into like the workaday, right?
Yeah.
Then you get into the workaday. People opening up their shops. Shop owner stocking up the Philadelphia cream cheese. I saw that into the cooler.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
right. It's but why it started with the rowing.
That's
which is the upper crust, and then it goes right into.
And I know in future minutes of these openings of this opening sequence, we get a other upper crust images, but not that many. Most of it
No.
is work a day,
Yeah,
getting up at
it's
the
not
crack
a
of dawn to make
dichotomy,
the donuts.
but-
yeah,
But yeah, it's just a weird like just one little image of the upper crust, and then it goes right into the workaday, and then another little. It's not like a tennis match back and forth. You see what I'm saying?
right,
See what I'm getting
right.
at? Love
Yeah.
this movie though. Love this movie
We should talk about that. Why are we doing this movie? Why are we spending?
because we love it. That's
a
what I'm
good
saying.
year
We
or
went
something
right
of our
into
lives?
it,
Yeah.
and we haven't even like did the opening just to talk about why Trading Places. We've been back and we did put a poll into the listeners' hole, of course, right?
we did.
We did win the
I
poll.
like holes.
Dan likes holes. That's why we keep naming things after holes. But yeah, people, we threw out a couple of possibilities, and people either overwhelmingly or just barely edged out Trading Places. And mostly the main reason we're doing it is because we want to. It's one of the things that the three of us agreed that's something we would want to spend, 100
year.
something episodes on. Yeah,
Well, yeah, let's just chat because
sure,
this is gonna be about 5 minutes of just montage of images.
it really
So
is.
we just covered you this image. We're starting this movie. We're back in business.
Mhm.
The listeners are going to get the high quality entertainment that they come accustomed to.
Yes.
We have the Patreon. We'll get that gets things from that.
Right.
Get that money rolling back in because
That's right.
these times are tough. So we're going to start churning out this quality entertainment, and you're going to like it,
hmm
and you're gonna pay top dollar for it.
Come for the Trading Places. Stay for the life insights, life hacks,
Right.
the human condition laid bare, all the things that you've come to expect and love from us from Caddyshack and Blues Brothers Minutes.
Well, we got to start by saying, how is everybody? What's the latest? What's the greatest? So we've been cutting Dan off because he's been trying to talk. I'm watching his face kind of.
This is what he gets for not watching the minute.
I have nothing to say.
So, well, now you're going to say, let's start. How are you, Dan? It's been a while since you've talked to us and our people that listen.
I'm doing pretty well.
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Just keeping real busy. Busy
Keeping
of
it
an
real?
evening and then during the day, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just have a lot going on, and so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That sounds good and productive and healthy.
Yeah. It's good to be
I like
fine.
it. Mike, how are
good
you
to be
doing?
fine.
Is it good to be fine?
It's good to be fine. I'm good too.
All right.
Starting to travel again with work. So things are going well.
It's good
Yeah.
to be fine.
You
Little
were in
bit-
Colombia recently. Is that
Yeah,
right?
Cartagena. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Picked up the Colombian COVID.
Oh, I hear
the
that's
way
the best one.
Well, yeah.
Pure, 100% pure.
100%. Yeah.
They just have like
Yayo.
mountains of COVID on their desks down there. They just go
Yeah.
nuts on them.
It's
Yeah,
killed
That's
everywhere.
not funny. There's some good friends down there. First you get
Right, I'm making a Scarface reference.
and ever say you're making a Scarface, right? Like the whole
That's not
country's
funny.
that way. No, I went. So we were at this, in Cartagena. It's right on the beach there, and or right on the water. And it's like a Spanish walled town with the cannons, to
Oh, cool.
keep the pirates away from the old days. But there was these islands not too far, so they took us on this boat to these islands. It's like a little private little beach.
hmm
And I'm waiting in the water there, and some guy comes around the boat, and he's pretending like he's part of the the inclusive staff that's there, and he's talking in Spanish. And the guy next to me is like, yeah, he wants to take us on a tour because Pablo Escobar's little private, or where his house is around the corner. I'm like, he wasn't from over here. And he's like, yeah, but he doesn't. He's like, he doesn't. He knows that you don't know that.
No.
And I'm like, yeah, he's gonna
Oh.
put me in the boat and then take me out to sea, and then
Well, he probably
Yeah.
had a place in Cartagena too.
I know.
I heard you got around. Yeah.
But the whole time I'm there, I was trying to remember the line from Scarface. It's first you get the yayo,
Yeah.
then you get the money,
Yeah.
then you get the women.
And anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Oh, that's
Oh,
Yoda.
what he's saying is that the pattern when they were poor.
Yeah.
First you get the yayo, the yayo, the coke.
B.
Then you get the
Levion.
money. Be lesbian. If I was such a nice guy, I'd slap you. Be
Lesbian.
lesbian. Okay, we gotta stop.
We have fun. Nobody cares
How
how,
about
I'm
you?
doing.
No,
Oh,
how's your
thank you.
turn?
Thank
Yeah,
you, Mike. I'm doing.
I don't
fine.
care.
You pal.
Thank
ahead.
you, pal. I'm doing fine. I'm good.
Good to be fine.
Oh, this is exactly like our interim show between movies, but
Mm-hmm.
we're just we started off talking about Trading Places.
Yeah,
I
but
blame
we're
the
seeing-
movie because the first minute of the movie is so boring and nothing happens.
No, well, it's gonna be 6 minutes of montage, but wow, what a movie.
Oh my God, what a good movie! This is, we talk about our most quoted movies and stuff, and this is, I don't know, among Caddyshack, Blues Brothers, I don't know, It's a Wonderful Life, Star Wars, Star Trek 2, Yahtzee.
Yeah, you got a different group of friends that you do that with.
But yeah, this is I'll probably have to have my sister on the show at some point, because this is like our Christmas movie, basically. Christmas and Thanksgiving. It spans the latter half of the year holidays.
I have heard that, because I was doing, when I was preparing for it, I was like looking up some comments of certain clips on YouTube, and people were like, "Oh, this is my Christmas movie," and they were in a different country. Like, we see this as a Christmas movie.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's one of those movies. It's got Christmas imagery in it. It's got literally has Christmas trees and Christmas decorations, so it seems like a Christmas movie.
It's got Christmas stuff in it. The message that's used, the time of year is used as a plot device a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's any large thematic reason for it necessarily.
No.
Nobody gets a BB gun at the end or anything like that.
Right.
It's like Die Hard. Die Hard's a Christmas
There's a
movie
sort
because
of
it's
a
during Christmas time.
Be nice to each other kind of vibe, but that's kind of not particularly Christmassy in the way they do it.
Now we should. What part or parts of this movie are you most looking forward to examining, revisiting, picking apart, explaining to me?
Well, take out the nudity scene.
Take it out?
Out of the conversation, because that's what you guys are going to say.
We'll do that minute twice.
You guys write to Blue.
She's
go to Blue.
I like the butler.
Denham Elliott. We love him.
Denham Elliott is a great actor, and I think he has the best moments in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
I have two come to mind, and we'll get to those when we get to them.
Yes.
I love Eddie Murphy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy.
But you hate Dan Aykroyd.
There is going to be an N-word, which is used brilliantly in this movie.
That is
kind of an interesting
surgical N-word.
It comes back up where does it make sense to, it's like you can no longer use it, but obviously the way it's used in the movie is meant to be not only funny, but kind of revealing. It's like it's like a peek behind the curtain in these guys' heads.
Yeah.
And I just love when the eyebrows on Eddie Murphy when he hears it. They just pop up like that. It's so funny.
And it's like when the movie needs you to not have any doubt about who the villains of the movie are.
Yeah. The movie
Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy. They're so charming. Yeah. Yes, they're being dirty dealers, but come. Oh, wait a minute.
It's so funny, and when he does that, and of course the. What's also interesting about it is we'll get to it later. Is that there's a I'm obsessed with this whole thing about words being offensive, because there's a point in the movie where that's far more offensive than that. It's just that they don't use the word. At that moment it's offensive, but there's one that's just as offensive, if not more. Where they just don't use the word, but it's a horribly stereotypical thing.
That'll be interesting going through is like what parts of this, we're at a stage in society, I guess, where people are like, oh, you can't watch this movie or that movie. Blazing Saddles, oh my God, I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what, we'll have to weigh a lot of the jokes, a lot of the plot points and stuff, and see how they would fly today, or how do they fly today, or if they would change at all.
Yeah.
Or
well, it's like the you don't think you get this is kind of like you could have this direct effect like this using the word, or like in Different Strokes with the gullop of milk. That was a clear social commentary that I'm from the South. It's not going to work.
Can we please say G word? Thank you.
No, that's good.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's offensive here, gullop. Tom has an issue with that sound.
Too soon.
Too soon.
I'm looking forward to the every single scene of the movie I love, but there are some things I'm looking forward to dissecting a little bit, like the Delta Chi, like the guys crooning to the girls at the tennis club or whatever. That scene I've got a lot of questions about, and that'll be fun to dissect, I think. And
that hits home for you.
Yeah, because I was that guy, wasn't I?
You were that guy.
I had the sweater around my shoulders, and I didn't really. Mike likes to paint me with that brush.
I'm just saying, Connecticut.
I was from Connecticut.
I've seen your dad dressed just like that.
Yeah.
Your dad, but that's just his style, though.
Tom Taylor on the make.
When you're talking about the holiday backdrop too, I like at the end after and we'll get to this too, but I'm going to say it now anyways. When they get to the market is closed and they see the Duke brothers and they say Happy New Year,
Mhm.
That's like a way to say, go fuck yourself. Happy New Year. You know, because that's what they're saying.
Yep.
Happy New Year. Go fuck yourself.
Happy New Year, assholes.
Turtles on.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Never thought you'd hear Don Amici say fuck him.
I know.
Yeah.
He gets
really
both
good.
of them. He gets both the big words in that one.
Yeah,
that
he
that I
gets the
think
big one.
either
He's a
he
nasty
or
man in
Ralph
this one.
Bellamy would have been very uncomfortable to say.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You had to go to therapy after that. Don
That's
Amici
right.
did.
That's why
Oh,
I didn't hear
yeah.
much from him after that. Well, we should say to anyone who is unfamiliar with our style of podcasting and movie criticism, we do very little homework. So don't expect,
Sometimes
this
we do,
was
though.
shot at, well, sometimes we do, if it's easy
Sometimes
enough.
we do.
You know, like we were doing a movie based in Chicago, so we had a lot to say about shooting locations and things like that and continuity between places and stuff. But, you know, if you're expecting a full making of Trading Places minute by minute, that's probably not what you're going to get here. But you will get the insightful observations, questioning, and dissection from three feeble-minded weirdos who barely know what they're talking about.
That's right.
And it's free. So, you know, can't lose.
Unless you become a patron. In which
Unless
case
you become a patron. Thank
it
you, Dan.
costs you
Yeah.
pretty penny, or just a penny.
Just a
a
penny
day.
if you want. You can
Just
pay
for a
whatever you
penny
want.
A day,
Sure.
YouTube.
$1 a day.
Tuppence a bag.
Are we doing
Feed the birds.
postcard thing again?
We could. We have a Patreon account over at patreon.com/ditchdiggers. So if you want to support this show, which you're barely into now, you don't know what you're getting into, but if you want to support us and the show, you could go over there. And we do have a few different tiers of support that you can give. And for a very reasonable recurring donation, you can get things like early access to this show. Maybe we'll do some bonus shows if we get enough people on there. That'd be fun. Or we might, in the past, we've sent people some postcards from the three of us. That's charming and fun. Little human contact that you don't normally get these days because nobody wants to go back to the office and talk to people like me. But yeah, that's fun and exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
We got Frank Oz in this movie again.
We do. What a charmer.
Yeah, it's gonna be great to see Frank Oz again.
Uh-huh. I'll have to post that Yoda movie I made. Remember I made that Yoda video, like him in The Empire Strikes Back, but with Frank Oz's dialogue from this.
Oh,
See what he does.
brilliant.
See what this stuff does to kids.
Have you seen what this stuff does to kids?
Yeah, you can't
5
not
to
hear
10
Yoda
mandatory.
in his voice, no matter what.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Man's a genius.
yeah, I think so.
This is our second John Landis movie that we've covered, isn't it?
Mhm.
And our second, let's see, what else? Our second Dan Aykroyd movie. What Caddyshack connections are there to this movie? There must be some, right? I'm spacing out completely.
Now you're trying to search for something that's not
There's
there.
I
gotta
am.
be. Yeah.
Rodney's not in this movie, is he?
You have a
No.
lot
should be.
of actors in this one
Yes.
that are well known now, but
Yes.
may not have been well known.
Yes.
You have a Better Call Saul alum in this.
You
in
do.
this.
Who I got my
And
picture taken with.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
Ah.
Dan, you know
Who's
what we're
that?
talking about?
Dan's too busy picking his teeth. Like, give him a
Who's
second.
that?
What'd you get?
It's in the jails. It's in the cell scene. He's leaning against the. He looks like he's like a 13-year-old kid in this movie. Or like,
He is.
it's Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Jive Turkey.
Yeah.
So
That's
close to
good.
Thanksgiving.
That's a good line.
Mr. Walsh, the dad from Beverly Hills 90210, he's in this movie.
Wow.
That
I don't
he-
know that. I never watched
it's,
that
it's,
show.
it's
Cut
a
right
fact.
there.
We don't have to deal with it, but it's a fact.
Yeah, say it.
Yeah.
You
That's
could
all.
say it.
Yeah. But
And if you're not familiar, sometimes we play "What movie is this from?" We'll say a line.
that is true.
And it's
Usually it
always
is
either
Stripes or
Yeah.
Raising Arizona or sometimes
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Sometimes
Yeah,
brain
those
can't
three.
be
Any one of
made.
those three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope to
Sometime.
bring more MacGruber into the discussion.
Oh, which I finally watched. Dan was trying to get me to watch MacGruber for
The great
7 or 8 years,
movie
and I finally did it.
MacGruber.
I
Leave
love
it open. I like holes.
All right, who said this? Sometimes we'll play "Who Said This."
Okay.
So I'll start it off with "Who said this?" And for years, I struggled with anger and resentment. I was advised to capitalize and expose the scheme, go to the press, do something, but I refused. I don't want to be seen as a whiner, a sore loser, a baby crying over spilt milk. Take it on the chin, accept the blow, move on with your life. Best of all, forget about it, which was proved impossible.
I
That
have no
sounds
idea.
familiar to me.
And then the next line is probably, "Why me? Why me? You saw what happened."
Why they gotta be me?
Why me? Why me? Why did it have to be me?
That's the great Ralph Branca.
Yep.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, he didn't say it in that interview,
baseball
but that
question.
it was upon reflection.
That's a callback to what we were talking about before we started recording.
Yeah,
That's pretty.
you
That's,
saw
that's,
what happened.
That's meta.
I threw the pitch with spin on it. He
Why
put an
me?
uppercut
Why
on
me?
it.
Why
You
did
saw
I
what
do
happened. Why me? Why me?
Yeah, get used to this too. We tend to
I
ramble.
got a softball game this afternoon.
Hey, look at you! Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'm telling.
you-
Well, I am now,
Does
and
it
I
not
think.
hurt when you do things like that? Or-
Yeah, it always hurts, but I think I'm to the point now. Like last year, I played on the same team, and it was like running in the gap, making the one finger catch, to the oohs and the ahs, putting the ball into the
Mhm.
lights, with
yeah.
the swing, and putting on the fireworks.
Just
Mm.
launching.
This year, I twice now, I've gotten to the ball and had not caught it, like it went off my fingers.
Yeah.
So I think my hand-eye is. I think I'm at that point now, Dan, where
Mm,
I'm just a
yeah.
mere mortal now. I'm
Oh.
just like
That
another
happened. Yeah,
big
it happened to me
goon
too a few
that's
years
playing
ago.
softball.
I noticed I couldn't be smooth anymore. My head would move too much, and it would
Yeah.
get a little disorienting.
Weird.
And
Yeah.
that's what it must feel like for
You used to be like a
like a
hummingbird.
nerdlinger to play baseball.
Yeah. Because what I did is like I go, okay, I know where I'm at in the position. I'm going to stick my hand out, and my eye is now going to go to the
But
runner.
it's all you can't
Yeah.
quite do it.
Oh,
Because
that's
in the
sad.
past, I would say my eye is now on the runner. I catch the ball without looking. Now it's off my hand. And I go
You
back,
fire it.
and the guy who's wearing jeans that shows up to the game in jeans said, "You took your eye off the ball. Why'd you take
Oh.
your eye off the
Oh,
ball?"
God.
I said, "Get the fuck out of my
The guy
face
in
right
jeans
now."
telling you that
Because
right?
I'm going through an
Oh.
existential crisis in my head right now, and the fact that you showed up in these
Yeah.
jeans
Yeah.
and you tripped on the way to first, and everybody was worried about you when you fell
Ooh.
because that's the shape you're in. You're going to tell me I didn't take my eye
Oh.
off the ball.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Is this a
You
younger
can't-
fella, or is he just a different fella with jeans?
Let me
Doesn't
see.
matter.
He was a little older than me. A lot of
Oh, really?
shape.
Okay.
You wear
All right.
jeans, you're forfeiting no matter what your age or anything.
That's
Yeah.
one of those things like, oh, I just came from work. And said, well, you didn't bring anything with you. You decide I don't show up then.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can't
prepared
show
to
up in
play today.
jeans.
So you guys just got to go on without me
You
because
might
all
as
I
well show
have
up to a
on.
wedding in jeans.
Yeah.
So at that level,
hmm
You- I do think
Inappropriate.
though that one of these teams should do the full denim uniform one of these days. That'd be
Oh.
a neat
Yeah.
statement, huh?
That'd
What
be
do you think,
exciting.
like the Cardinals or something?
A one piece,
Full denim?
like a gas station suit.
Yeah, like the gas station suit from the Jerk,
Jerk or
Nathan
yeah,
Johnson
That's
Jonathan
another weird
Winters.
one. Oh, at the gas
The
station.
mad
in
world.
Mad
Yeah.
World. Yeah.
I'm warning you guys.
Hey, should we do trivia? Oh my god!
Oh jeez. Oh, here we go. What is
No, we-
that be?
In the past, I actually found some Trading Places trivia.
Okay, good.
Oh, listen to this.
So this will be a nice little kickoff to this show.
He's got
all right.
trivia.
Look at me. Okay. Top 4 answers on the board. Okay, no. Oh. What is the subject of the film Trading Places?
What is the subject?
That's stupid. That's
No.
stupid.
Human psychology and anthropology.
Something
It's a
about
crisscross, a
pork
switcheroo.
bellies. Yeah. Okay, no. In the opening scene, here we go. This is from this minute. In the opening scene, a Salvation Army bell ringer is shown on the street. What does the sign behind her say?
Oof.
I'm looking at the answer, but I would not have known it if I did.
Never too late to
Cheese
mend.
sandwiches, 2 for $1.
It's never too late to
Never
mend.
too late to mend.
Keep moving, weirdo.
give me-
Sharing
second.
is caring.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
In what historical city does most of the movie take place?
Philadelphia.
It's fairly simple. Philadelphia.
right?
This is not a very good. I apologize.
You may not
who
know that.
directed
They might
Trading
think it's New
Places?
York.
This is all. Come on, man.
They land us.
Oh, okay. Ophelia, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, earns her living as a prostitute. On the night that Winthorpe is sick in bed with the flu, what kind of flowers does Ophelia's client bring for her? Here's Johnny.
oof.
I'm just gonna say roses.
That's correct. Roses. Well done.
That's the basic.
Yeah.
But I
She
thought it
shuts the
might
door
have,
in his
since
face.
she's Ophelia, maybe it has some sort of Shakespearean
Yeah.
connection or something.
Yeah. That would have been interesting. That
A
was
rose by any other name.
that was
Nobody
just
wants
pretty
to buy your
common.
trucks here, Louis.
that your purse? That's a nice purse.
In the movie Trading Places, what was Eddie Murphy's party?
It was a Stone Cold Groove. Oh, no, it was a Stone Groove. It was a Stone Groove. My man. Also, he's the most
righteous.
Yeah.
The most righteous, and he just cuts him off right there. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God. I love this movie so much. I'm so excited we're doing this. It's
It's
going to be great.
It's such a funny
Stone
movie.
Groove, man.
Eddie Murphy was such a huge star at the time, right? Just a massive. He still is.
This is like the tail, like, I don't know what do you call it. This is like I guess his explosion went from Saturday Night Live to 48 Hours to this. And then was, Beverly Hills Cop. Was that right after this?
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, I want to say is 83 or
That's
so.
84.
Maybe 84. Yeah.
Yeah, this is 83.
What a wonderful year.
Oh,
Yeah.
84. Just the best,
84 was
man.
fantastic.
Great year.
Yeah.
Great year. The Natural came out too. Tigers.
He don't want to walk you.
And he didn't want to walk him,
you.
Tom.
He didn't want to
No?
walk him.
You don't, yeah. He didn't. Goose Gossage.
It's a waste of time right now.
Mm.
But
I'm thinking
when
about
I was in
Gremlins right now.
when I was
1984.
in Michigan a couple of weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, there's a store in Birmingham that sells all like Werner shirts and everything, and all Michigan, Detroit shirts. And one is of an image of Sparky Anderson's face from that when he's saying he don't want to walk you. He has this big grin on his face when he says it, and that's what it says. It just says he don't want to walk you. People in the know exactly what that is.
I'm laughing politely, but I don't know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
it's sports.
This is
Tom.
a thing
Okay.
that I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but this whole idea of like Michigan stuff. Like when I was growing up, I would wear maybe a Tigers thing, but there was no particular municipal pride or any of that stuff. Like this stuff has boomed, I feel like. And then there's all these like, you know, you used to see that stuff at like the airport or something maybe.
Right.
But now it's like there's whole stores where it's like you buy all your Michigan stuff to like signify that you're like real Michigan and all this other bullshit. And then they
not
have it
even
out
that.
here too. It's like people are crazed with it, and it never makes any sense to me. You got
You
these
took me
stand-up
to
comics.
a store like that, and it was like Oaklandish.
That's right, and it was Oakland.
It was all Oakland shirts.
And it's all Oakland stuff, and it's like you wear stuff to go like I was in Oakland when I got this, or I am from Oakland, and I still don't understand why people do that. I don't.
I mean, isn't a lot of that just plain old tourism? Like the tourist is like, oh, I was
it's
in
not.
Chicago and
It's
I
a
got the
thing
for
shirt.
the locals.
People
For the
here
locals.
do it now.
That is weird.
And this is the difference I'm talking about, Tom. It used to be you'd get something to be like, I traveled there. Now
Yeah.
it's like I'm from there.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing. And then there's always dudes, like there's a couple of comics I can think of that are just like, yo, born and raised in San Francisco, and then they go on about it and they
Yeah.
ask other people and they go, where'd you go to high school? And they're like, yo, I'm from such and such, and they're like, it's like they're really proud of it. And it's just a silly thing to be proud of, in my opinion. It just doesn't.
didn't have anything to do
you
with
didn't
it.
have a choice.
You were born.
You didn't do anything. You're just
it's
from a
also
place. Who gives a
it's
shit?
also stupid.
Made some
in the
good
sense
decisions
that-
when you were a baby.
Well, it's also stupid, like what it said, because it's like shirts that are like Detroit versus everybody. I'm from Detroit, bitch. Nothing's, it's like, and then
Yeah.
that's fine.
It's like,
But then you go to Birmingham, where my mom lives. It's the jewel of the suburbs.
mm,
They're wearing these shirts. I'm like, bitch.
yeah, come on.
Growing up, you wouldn't step foot in Detroit, and I was around your house when your parents would say some real derogatory shit about the people that live in Detroit and the color of their skin. So don't sit here and walk around now in your 40s with a Detroit versus everybody shirt. You're in
Everybody
Birmingham,
wants to be
bitch.
tough and cool
Yeah.
and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
just not. And it's also a kind of form of tribalism in a way, which is
Sure.
supposed
Oh,
to
totally.
be regressive and not civil,
Yep.
not civilized.
Well,
As long as there's an us and a them.
I do have a big Michigan map in my room, but that's to remind me of all the lakes and rivers and things.
Sure. That's fair. You've
but I
got
don't-
a connection to the place.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this thing where it's like you wear Oakland stuff and you live in Oakland.
Yeah.
here.
How is that different from like
Well,
going to like your favorite restaurant and you buy a shirt from the restaurant or something like that? I don't know. If
see this?
Detroit versus everybody, says Mike.
So I'm holding
I
up a
like it.
shirt that says Detroit versus everybody. And this was given to me by an idiot. And I am proud to say that I've never put this shirt on.
All right,
Okay.
but you still have it. Look at you.
True. But it's been in my drawer.
hmm
So yeah, but I've never put it on my body.
I I realize that I'm older now and think about the world differently because I was in Boston recently for the first time in literally about 30 years. I went to school there, but I haven't been there since really. And back then, on Beacon Street, like right near where my school was, Emerson College, there was Cheers, quote unquote, like the Bullfinch Club, which was like the exterior of Cheers that they would show like for the establishing shots and stuff. And
Right.
the only connection any of us would have with that would be like to stand outside and watch people going, oh my gosh, it's Cheers, and then hear them go, oh, it's not the same inside. I don't like it, and they
Right.
turn around and leave. But on this trip, I actually went in with the people I was with, my family and some friends, and we had a charming, wonderful time. And just in this absolute tourist trap, but it was great. And I realized, okay, I'm in my 50s now. I will do that stuff.
I
You
think
know?
that, Mike, that's a classic Tom story right there in a lot of ways.
I was
we both
waiting.
started-
The
It's got
silence was
a-
killing me during
Well,
that
Tom,
story.
It's
Oh,
got a
yeah.
kind of, it's about nothing.
Absolute
About not really
bastards.
much of anything.
Motherfuckers.
It ends, and there's no conflict. It's just very
No.
pleasant.
It's very
And at
pleasant,
some
very
point,
milquetoast.
he's trying to
Is it
tell you
because
about
I
how the world's
posed
a
it
little
as
bit
a
better than
story?
he thought before.
No,
And
it's
then-
just because you told it. And what Dan and I did is Dan was doing something. I started checking my email, so
Yeah.
it allows for us to
God
do
damn
something.
it.
It's like from the scene in.
Well, then you're
Oh,
welcome,
Brother.
you sons of bitches.
It's like the scene from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" when they're sitting under the tree and John Goodman's eating and there's silence and he says, "I appreciate the respite and talking while I'm eating. I find it vulgar and disgusting." So that was what it was. You
All right.
provided a very milquetoast story, and I was able to check some email.
Now, if
Dan
I
was
hadn't
able to
framed,
start rifling through
I don't know
some
if I did
things.
this intentionally. Did I frame it as a story so you're expecting a story and then it went nowhere, or should
Yeah.
I have
You
somehow
started it
declared
like it
this
was
is
gonna
not
be
a
a
story,
story.
this is an anecdote, this is just a little slice of life thing?
And you
Yeah.
said up
Point I'm
front that
making.
you realize you're getting older, and then you told a story about nothing,
Yeah.
where the lesson of the story is that sometimes nice things happen. I don't.
My point was that I used to, because I mentioned, buying souvenir shirts from restaurants or even from towns or whatever.
Well, I think-
and that used to be the sort of thing I would absolutely turn my nose up at. And it still sort of probably is. Like just, I bought this shirt at the, Nature Society Museum, whatever. Like just, I would never do that. And now I might. I don't know.
Well, I think also what it is when you tell a story like that, you give others hope that nice things actually do happen.
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
I tell a story like, oh, here it comes.
All right.
Here it comes.
Yeah,
He's
there's
going
a
to.
little bit. It's almost
Here's
like
the story about
propaganda
finding
coming from
syringes in the changing table at the Panera.
Did he almost kill somebody again? Here we go. Everybody
Here
pull
we
up.
go.
It was
Tom's
like the old.
stories are like
Strap
yeah.
in.
It
Tom's
was like the
stories
old
are
timey.
Tom's stories are like very nice looking pictures from North Korea. Like they're trying to go, look, nice stuff. We got
Yeah.
nice stuff. Meanwhile,
Look,
you
there's
go there
12
and it's a
people out
fucking
on the
nightmare.
lawn enjoying a game of catch.
You get the
It's nice.
impression that there's water parks all over North Korea from these pictures.
Right.
And you realize there's one water park, then you realize it's never open, and even
Yeah.
if it was, you wouldn't be allowed to go there.
And it's not a water park. It's
Only
a
top level officials can go there, and sometimes they never return.
it's
Yeah.
a chemical
And-
factory.
They get one last ride down the slide.
Right? Exactly.
Well, maybe
body
that'll be
gets
a goal
riddled
of
with
this. A goal of this podcast then will be. Let's see if Tom can tell a engaging and succinct and successful story.
Not even that.
Oh.
Put some conflict in there.
All
Some tension.
right. Maybe there's not
Some-
enough
some
conflict in my stories and in my life. I don't know.
To the point where in the listeners' hole, people start to worry about you, like they did in the past with me.
Oh yeah. No,
I'm still here.
right.
Don't you worry.
We have
I paint a
mic
story. I said a story of it's a setting. It's like Escape from New York.
Yeah. Here's a story
Yeah.
for you.
Okay.
It's a Tom story.
Okay.
Two wealthy older gentlemen living in Philadelphia
Mm-hmm.
toy around with the idea of whether it's nature versus nurture,
Mm-hmm.
and they begin to bat around the idea of exploiting a young black man to
Mm-hmm.
these ends for their own little insidious bet. But they decide against it because they're a little older now, and they sometimes they just do things very reasonably, and they're not as capricious as they were. When
They just
were younger.
decided to
That's
go
pretty good.
into the
Yeah.
Cheers bar and have a drink, and everything was okay.
Then they go
You
into
can do that now.
Then they go to the Rocky statue and have a couple photos taken
Sure.
over in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done this when I was younger because Rocky 3 hadn't come out and the statue wasn't there. But now that we're older,
All right.
why not?
Well, I got a heart out. I got a softball
Disgusting.
game to go to.
Ew.
I got to go see if I can bounce back from
A
last.
hard
This is where
out
you get
for
the
a
hard out
softball
for the
game.
softball. Get a soft
pretty
out
good.
for the hard ball. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, it's disgusting. You should
Let's
be
call
ashamed
the
of
whole
yourself.
thing off.
You're a grown man. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Let's let Mike out of here. Let's
That was
let
a
Dan
waste
out
of
here for
time.
that matter. It's a total waste
No.
of time. No, it was fantastic. We had a great
We're
time.
going to spend the next
We
year
both.
and a half together, folks.
Yeah, get used
all
to
of
it.
us.
We're pacing
Oh,
ourselves.
boy.
We're working with what the movie gives us and then bringing our own stuff.
There are going to be some ups and downs.
Sure.
And unlike some of these other podcasts, we don't shy away from the things that happen in our lives. And you would know this if you've listened to the Caddyshack Minute, the
No,
Blues
God
Brothers
damn it.
Minute.
We
and
fully
the,
recommend, yes, that you go to caddyshackminute.com, that you go to bluesbrothersminute.com,
Start listening. Catch up.
and start listening, catch up. I mean, or you can listen to this at the same time, whatever. But you should also, if you are of a mind, go to patreon.com/ditchdiggers. Check us out over there. Give us a hello. We got Trading Places Minute. I forget what our You know what? I'll do a little tag at the end of this when
Mark
I figured out
Lavora.
all the Facebook and all that jibber jab.
And
But yeah,
I have a goal, because you said you have a goal about storytelling.
it won't work.
I
with
have
you.
a goal that we're going to bring back the Mr. Man train and start adding to it.
Oh, okay.
man.
Should I play the
So,
Mr. Man train
yes.
right now?
So
Okay.
we're
Yes,
going
please
to
play.
explain this for the
Yeah.
new listeners.
Mhm.
The Mr. Man train started with an inflection. If you listen to clips from movies, an inflection
Mhm.
around the scene from the Blues Brothers,
Toby?
Mrs. Torrentino.
Yeah,
And they went in there just looking for Blue Lou.
that's right.
And who else was in there with Blue Lou and who?
And oh god, Bones Malone.
I think so. Maybe it was
Yeah,
Bones and
Maybe.
No, I don't know. But there
I
was
don't
two of the former
Toby
bandmates
Wong.
that go to they were boarders at Mrs. Torrentino's house. She says, I don't know where they are. They get
Right.
to the car. She's come running out because she forgot that they left a card.
Fucking
Yeah.
And she
Charlie
comes
Chan.
on and she's screaming, Mr. Man, Mr. Man,
Yeah,
Mr. Man, Mr. Man. So that inflecting up, inflecting down. So then we started to look for other movie clips that mimicked this inflection. We
Mhm.
put together a nice collection. And I think, Tom, are you ready
Yes.
to play where we ended up? And we're from the Mr. Man train.
absolutely. Here we go.
Mr. Man.
You want a hamburger? No, a cheeseburger.
Toby Wong. Toby Wong, Toby Wong. Toby Chung, fucking Charlie Chan.
Sir! Sir!
Fuck me. Fuck me.
He'll keep calling me. He'll keep calling me until I come over.
We ain't saying.
You ain't what?
We ain't saying.
You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second.
Docking Bay 94.
94.
Yankee bean soup, coleslaw, and tuna surprise.
My forms for my
And there you have it. The Mr.
I think
Man
we may
train.
be the first people to ever unify a sound collage around dipping inflections.
Inflections.
Inflections
Genius.
and not.
And we do
it's
it-
not
we have to give
topical.
We have to give
It's not-
credit to Mike because he's the one who made that first connection. He's like, the Mr. Man. That sounds exactly to me
hamburger?
like, and he kind of quizzed us and we figured it out.
Mr.
One
Man.
hamburger, one cheeseburger. And we're off to the races.
Yeah,
And we have a process. We bring it to the table. We talk about it here on air, and we decide
Democratic.
whether it works or it doesn't. It's a very democratic situation. So we're going to keep adding to this and see how far we can take the train.
Yeah, it's going to blow you away.
All the way to
Make you shit.
Rockville, I hope.
My goal is to, at some point, make it out to Chicago during our recording.
That'd be
We can
great.
Record in person, then perhaps I could do maybe I could do a little stand up while I'm there.
That'd be beautiful.
I would
It's
like
happened
I think-
before.
Yep. Yes.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's fall in
Yeah.
love. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody.
Jazz turkey.
But it'll be great. We're going to have a great time. Thank you. And join us next time right here on the Trading Places Minute. I got to get used to saying that. It's new to me. Minute 1.
It was a stone groove, my man. You are the most righteous.
Yeah, right. Just get the fuck out, man. Let's go. Shit.
Hey, thanks for listening. You can keep the Stone Groove going at our various homes on the web. You can support the show and get some fun bonuses at patreon.com/ditchdiggers. And you can find us on Facebook at the Ditch Diggers Listeners Hole, on Instagram and Threads, I guess, at Ditch Diggers Podcasts. And you can check out the show's website at tradingplacesminute.com. Thanks. Now just get the fuck out. Shit.